Welcome to the Back to Me podcast, where we help multicultural incoming freshman women and men manage their entire college experience throughout post-graduation to successfully transition into entrepreneurship and corporate workspaces as new hires.
Back to me. Oh, I turned it around. I'm back to me. I finally figured it out. I'm back to me. So when you think you have nothing, back to me. I go back to me. Yeah, I'm back to me.
Hello, everyone. It's your host, Yoli Tamu. As the holiday season approaches, it's time to take inventory of our inner strength as we prepare to navigate societal challenges with resilience and joy. In the first episode of our new series, Owning Your Strength, we are joined by Kwyn Townsend Riley, Director of the Office of Black Student Services at Loyola Marymount University. This award-winning poet, author, and first-generation graduate shares how overcoming doubt and honoring her inner strength helped her forge an authentic community, nurture Black student pride, and support social justice on campus. Through her own poetry, cultural events, and programs like the Umoja Alliance and the learning community, Kwyn reminds students they are not invisible and that joy and resilience are acts of resistance. In this dream job, find out how she encourages students to believe in their unique power and lead by being their best, irreplaceable selves. Enjoy. Wow. I meet a lot of people. I really do. But when you come across people that are just so genuine and so powerful, I'm so grateful and I'm so excited to have a guest with us for our new series, Owning Your Strength. And man, are we going to get into this conversation. She is a poet, she's a speaker, she's an author, and the director of the Office of Black Student Services at Loyola Marymount University, Miss Kwynn Townsend Riley. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for even allowing the opportunity. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh my God, you are so cool. So I'm excited to be here. And wow, you oversee so many people. What is the Black Student Service that you oversee?
Yeah, so OBSS has existed as a result of students wanting more administrative support from LMU. We were created in 1969, really at the same time, if not right after, the Watts uprising. So everything that we do is rooted in social justice. And we recognize that students are the power, students are the strength, students are the backbone of this institution. Under my leadership, I oversee TLC, which is the learning community, work with my good soror, Candace, and we both oversee our Black student space, the Mbangi spot. But you can think of OBSS pretty much as that go-to hub for anything dealing with Black culture. So we plan the Black History Month events. We plan everything for Black Family Barbecue, which is this weekend. We plan everything for yard shows, Black Student Welcome Week, MLK, Black graduation. We are the ones that provide that cultural nutrition to students as they matriculate through the ecosystem that is LMU.
My goodness. So it's not just Black Student Union. You're encompassing a lot of organizations.
Yes. So we have the Umoja Alliance, which serves as an umbrella entity for all of our self-identifying Black RSOs. I don't go out and choose them. They come to us. So we do have the Black Student Union. We have the African Student Association. We have the Black Greek Council. We have the Caribbean West Indian Student Association, Sisters in Solidarity, Brothers of Consciousness, Black Filmmakers Rebellion, Cut to Black. Then we have the Black Graduate Student Association, the National Society of Black Engineers, and there's a few others. So it's 12, 15 Black organizations that LMU has. We have a population of 10,000 students, but about less than 5% is Black identifying, but it's still small enough. It's still so community oriented where if you're a part of BSU, you know who's a part of ASA. Yeah. If you know about ASA, then you know who is a Delta. If you know who's a Delta, then you know who's a part of, the Black Filmmakers Rebellion. Everybody really does know everybody and they look out for each other too.
My goodness. So you guys are a tight family, a tight community on that campus.
It's really nice. And it also reminds me of just how important our offices are, because when first year students come, the first thing they ask is, okay, what is the student life like? Mm-hmm. And if they are part of TLC, they have the privilege to actually move on campus 2 weeks early. And they come in with a cohort. So they already have their friends. They already moved in with their dorm. They have met deans. They have met the university president. And then right after that, during the first full week of classes is Black Student Welcome Week. So then they meet me and we have open mics, yard shows, Black community mixers where we're teaching everybody how to play Bid Whiz before they learn how to play spades.
I love it.
Because you should know one before the other.
No, you got to know one.
Okay, yes. And then we also, just have a time where they get to meet like the Black faculty because it is a marriage between administrative support and faculty support. And I think for me, even just working in higher ed as a scholar practitioner, LMU is so different that I don't feel like there is a chasm between student affairs and academic affairs. Like I'm so connected with the African American Studies Department and even folks that sit in our BCLA, the Bellarmine College of Liberal Arts, people that work in HR, people that work in DI. If you are Black at LMU, you are known, you are held, you are supported, and you are engaged with consistently. That's like nobody is going to let you feel as if you're just like one-on-one or by yourself. And so, yeah.
Powerful. It's like an HBCU on campus.
That's what people say. I'm getting my doctorate from an HBCU now. And so I'd be kind of careful. But honestly, I think with the thickness of the community and also the pride of being Black, and I don't know if this is also just an LA thing because, I'm from Chicago, but it's such an embrace of the diaspora on our campus that I've never actually seen that before at other historically white institutions, that I do feel as if that would be a historically Black like atmosphere. Of course, I will always say we need more Black faculty and we need more people to major in African American studies. But yeah, LMU is pretty Black. It's pretty Black.
Wow. I'm so excited to have finally connected with you guys. So my goodness, your resume is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. You are a poet, an author, and I think you told me your books are in the National Library. Is that what you told me?
They're in the Chicago Public Library, and they're also in the Massanutten Library in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And I'm trying to get them out here in LA.
Wow, that is fantastic. So now what led you to serving college students? What took you down this path?
Yeah, so I didn't know higher ed was a thing, but in undergrad, I was an agitator. I was a student activist. I was the one that was meeting with the presidents, demanding that we hire more Black people, doing all this stuff. President of this, president of that, just doing too much, right? And by the time I graduated, I still didn't feel as if like my undergraduate institution was doing enough for Black college students. And I wanted something more. And so I started this original LLC. It was called The Underrepped. And it was supposed to be like a web resource where students could actually click on different states and then click on their institution to see the racial statistics, to see if there's a barbershop in that city, to see if they have Greek life, to see what Black-owned restaurants, like stuff like that I wish somebody would have told me when I went to my school in Ohio, especially coming from an urban city, like Chicago, right? And so when I created that, I had a mentor who told me, because she was in higher ed, she's now working on DEI, like for corporate entities. And she said, Kwyn, you should consider going to school, get your master's. And I said, I'm definitely not going back to school. Like, absolutely not. I don't want to do it. I'm done. And then she said, no, you should really think about it. I think you'd be great for higher ed. And so when the pandemic hit, I actually was working for CPS during that time. I was an out of school time coordinator or OST coordinator. So I was planning the trips for MLK, all the stuff for spring break for elementary school students, saw a big budget, hired my own staff. When the pandemic hit, there was no school, so there was no after school. So I was sitting at home and just like, okay, this is a great time to go get a degree online. Like if I could get it. So I started applying and I decided to go get my master's in higher ed. And I saw this program called College Student Personnel with a focus in social justice. And that was at Western Illinois. And I was like, ooh, anything that says social justice is definitely for me. And so I applied, got accepted. And from there, it's just been like history. This is my dream job, though. When I applied, I knew I always wanted to be a director of like a cultural center. I didn't know if it was possible to be a director of a center that's just for like Black students. But this is truly like my dream job. Like I love it so, so much. And I'm really grateful during a time such as this to have a role like this because it's a point of privilege. And I don't use that lightly. So, yeah.
Very powerful. Well, it definitely shows that you love what you do. So now this is our Owning Your Strength series. And I mean, you are definitely teaching these students how to own their strength with all the programming that you guys have going on. So now with the books are called And She Wrote,
Yes.
And She Will. Which one came first and what are they about?
They're both poetry books. And She Wrote came first. I'm going to shout out my mom here because after years of performing poetry, Chicago is just known for like youth poetry and slam poetry events. And my mom was like, you can take that to the next level. Why don't you write a book? I was like, how do you write a book? Like, what do I even do? And she was just like, figure it out, write a book. And so I sat down in a Starbucks downtown between the Starbucks and the Harold Washington Public Library. And I was just writing poems. I just let them bleed out. And that was And She Wrote, because I literally just wrote. And that was my first book. And She Will is more so of a resiliency story after my own personal loss. My son, David Quinton, he passed, he was stillborn. And I wanted something really that I can go back and read and remind myself of the present, of the ongoing of healing, that it's not a destination, like it's a journey. And it's lots of poems of like uplifting, but also just like of the journey of motherhood and like grief and how sometimes that can be intergenerational and like, stuff like that. And so I performed for the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. And like in that room, there was the executive director of the Chicago Public Library, Mr. Brown. And I introduced myself to him and I told him like, man, because my dad always used to take us to the library. And I told him like, I see libraries literally as a cerebral artery for communities. Like you can tell how good a city is by how much the library is funded, how much it's attended, like everything else like that. And he was like, wow, you sound so smart, sound so cool. Do you have any books? And I said, actually, I do. I have two. And he was like, how would you like to have them in the library? And I was like, what? Like, what? And then they're in the library. And then when I got my other job at JMU before moving out to LA, somebody else had caught wind that I had books. And they're like, Kwyn, you could have your books, in the Massanutten Regional Library. And they had a whole authors festival for me. And it was just like a whole thing. And so, yeah, that's what the two of them are about. That's what they are. Those are more page poems than like stage poetry. But yeah.
That's fantastic. That's a beautiful tribute to your son. Amazing.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, so now, as I said, you're teaching these students how to own their strength, and we're in a time where just too much is going on. So, what is top of mind right now for students? What are you guys trying to improve or nurture within your students right now?
I would say we're trying to remind them that they are not invisible. I think a lot of times with being Black, even a Black woman, right? People just assume so much strength and they just assume so much invincibility and just so much like, yeah, I don't have life or things going on. So we at LMU, I would say even outside of just myself, but even my colleagues, like we have a saying called cura personalis, where we really care for the whole person. And so we're really big on mental health, on physical health, on did you go outside? Did you sit underneath the trees? And you'll see on our campus, like it's beautiful for that reason. And I believe that also aligns with the mission, of our religious organizations, the Jesuits, the Society of Mary as well. We're also just trying to remind them that like, we're going to fight alongside with you. The same things that you're experiencing as a student, the same thing I'm experiencing as a staff member. And that type of transparency of that sameness, I think is critical right now, even in professional spaces, to remind students of just how human like I am. And like, this is my job, but it's not, like really who I am. And who I am is saying this, and who you are can say something different too. And just also reminding them about joy and community. I think joy is also a site of resistance. So it's not necessarily like being joyful in spite of, it's being joyful like during and like, praising God in advance and trying to remind them that like we are here. If you need somebody to talk to, even if you don't want to talk, like you could just come sit in the office. You can come to the event, come get this food, come get this hug. Let's talk about, the Kardashians. Let's talk about this Chris Brown tour. Let's talk about anything else but what's going on in the world, if that's what you want to do. Because I know that's also like medicinal to the spirit.
I love that you said joy is like resilience in sight. Is that what you said? What did you say?
Mm-hmm. Joy is also resistance too. Yeah.
Resistance. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Joy is resistance. So now I've talked to some students and a few of them have asked me about freedom of speech. That's been their thing. They're like, Yola, you got this podcast and you got all these people and you guys are just going in. So do you have some sort of fear for what you say? And I said, absolutely not. Do you guys have freedom of speech conversations?
We have had conversations about freedom of speech in regards to organized student demonstrations.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of the Students for Justice for Palestine, with all of the students that are even trying to just express their dissent to what is going on politically, we have different time, place, and manner policies. I believe UCLA started off first, and then like all these other LA, California schools have adopted it as well, to where it's like we want students to, LMU is saying that students can offer their opinion on anything they want, right? But you can't do it during this certain time of the day, during this certain place of the campus, and in this certain way. So there is a curtailing of the expression, but we still are like allowing that expression. And we also want everybody to be safe, because things have gotten so contentious, especially with everything that's happening to Palestinians, that people's safety is at risk. Their jobs, their emotional, their physical safety. And so for students, we're like, okay, if there's going to be something organized, let us know so we can show up and be that shield for you between, you and LAPD, or you and like other, random residents of LA that don't know that you're just a student and may try to, attack you because your beliefs are different than theirs. And so we're not trying to curtail anything. I think that's what the TMP, time, place, manner, TPM policy is for. But I see for students how it's received that, okay, this is just a censorship, like in disguise. On top of the fact, right, like we are in a time where we have to be mindful of even our marketing for our events is OBSS. So even for my flyers, I have to repeat constantly that OBSS is for all students. It's not just for Black identifying students, it's for all students. So that's why I shift my language to saying, oh, we prioritize Black culture. Or look, if you're looking for the culture, look for the culture, like we're here. Because people are gunning for offices like mine to no longer exist. And so that's a different level of freedom of speech that we also have been talking to students about as well, too.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're saying that people are just really trying to, curtail our voices and get rid of these departments. When I think about our listeners, because they are the incoming college freshmen that deals with all that anxiety of just entering a new campus for the first time. And we're also finding that the postgraduate out into the workforce is also dealing with anxiety. So I'm hoping you can give us a few ways for our listeners to just help them manage their anxiety and depression in these times. You spoke about joy, you spoke about freedom of speech, but what are some ways that they can manage anxiety that they may be experiencing?
Honestly, I do not shy away from telling students about my consistent relationship with a therapist. I am grateful that my mother has always seen counseling and therapy as something truly beneficial. So I've been seeing a therapist since my parents separated, like when I was in fourth grade. And on LMU's campus, like we do have SBS, but we also have an app where students can get free sessions, like up to 12 sessions with a therapist, like virtually anywhere. It's called Timely Care. So anybody and everybody, I tell them, hey, you don't have to be diagnosed with something to go see a therapist. Like this is really the best person to have unbiased just advice and to just be a sponge of your frustration, of your feelings, of your fear, of everything. Because sometimes we just need an ear. Not all the times we need a mouth. Like sometimes we just need an ear. And that's why I say talk therapy is anyway for me. But in addition to that, I do like reminding students that their feelings are not unfamiliar to students who have been in the position before them. I think sometimes we have to remind our students that this fight that we're fighting right now is not anything that we haven't fought before. Like our bones know it, like our blood knows it. Our ancestors have been here. They survived it. They actually made sure that we were able to be here. And so the anxiety, the fear that you have is something that, one, is shared amongst other folks in your generation, but two, should not be something that you are going to use as a barrier to stop you from doing what you have to do. And I think sometimes, even as Black students, they kind of feel, especially as a first gen student myself, I kind of felt a lot of responsibility to like, oh, I have to break the family, chains. I have to be the one to make it out. And I did, thank you, Lord. But also like, I think students, their responsibility is just learn. I think we tell everybody that they have to change the world, they have to be a leader, but leadership really comes from authenticity. And it really comes from choosing to be yourself and choosing to do what dreams you have, not necessarily always being the president of this or doing that. It also means that you are the one that's taking a nap while everyone else is like awake. It also means that you're the one that's going to therapy while everyone else is choosing to go to a party. It's choosing like your own path. So that's what I would tell the students.
Oh, so good. My goodness. Yes. I'm taking a nap.
Yes, take a nap.
I'm going to rest.
Yes.
Yes. That's so important. My goodness. Well, this has been amazing. I really, really enjoyed this. And I'm always thinking about finding words of encouragement. We talked about owning your strength. And when you and I talked about this before, you said, know that you already have it. So I'm just like, can we take a deep dive into that? Encouraging words for our listeners about owning their own strength. What do you got?
Yes. So I think the best advice that someone told me, especially like with all my different identities, because I also identify as queer and a Christian, and sometimes sitting at those intersections can feel very isolating because they're like almost contradicting to some people. They're not contradicting to me, but to some people they are. And she says, Kwyn, you keep waiting for someone else to be an example of who you already are. Like you are your own possibility model. Like, stop looking for someone else or waiting for someone else to show you their path when like your path has already been like determined. So literally just keep doing you and embrace those parts of you that, yes, is going to cost. Okay, you may be at the social function by yourself. You may actually be the only one that's not picked for this, etc. But it's going to be a shining light for the people that are coming behind you and around you. They're like, oh, like I can be myself and I can be okay. And there's such a courage and that type of confidence that no currency can actually like replace. And it's such a comfortability to actually know that you are your best thing, that you are so worthy, so valuable, so irreplaceable, that you're not going to let anyone else's words about you, anyone else's misconceptions, anyone else's stereotypes, anyone else's microaggressions, macroaggressions, anyone else's verbal or physical assault stop you, because you know that you are destined for greatness. Like nothing can interrupt destiny. Nothing. Nobody can actually do it. It's only you.
Yes.
Truly.
Yes. Beautiful. So powerful. And if they take a nap, they can tune in.
Drink some water.
Okay.
Eat your vegetables.
Yes.
Y'all need to learn how to eat. I'm so tired of my students not eating. I'm like, how are you here? Like, you have a body. You have a body to take care of. Buy your needs. Buy your needs.
I love it. I love it. This has been fantastic. This has been amazing. I appreciate you so much. So now if they want to find you, where do you want to send them? To maybe your website or LinkedIn? Where should
Yeah, I would say my LinkedIn. I'm still trying to figure out my Instagram right now, but I could give them my LinkedIn. You can find me at Kwyn Townsend Riley, I believe. But I do have a website. It's Kwyn Elizabeth. Elizabeth is my middle name. When you just type in KWYN Elizabeth.com, my website should come up. And from there, you should be able to find like my YouTube and like other offerings. I have a Substack and stuff now as well. It's called Poetry in Praxis that you can sign up for. There's supposed to be alignment with like my PhD, because I'm getting a PhD in sociology. So I'm trying to do more like, not academic writing, but more so dense writing than poetry. But
fantastic. And then I saw a site, Kwynology.
Yes, so Kwynology is my slam name. She's like my Sasha Fierce. But yes, Kwynology is me. Kwynology is me and I is her.
You've been dropping some Kwynology today.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I try.
All right. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you.
All right. You take care. We'll talk real soon.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for joining us. So remember, you are your own possibility and nothing can interrupt your destiny. For more information about other episodes, remember to subscribe to the Back to Me podcast, College and Beyond. I'm your host, Yoli Tamu. Leave a review at the end of this podcast. And if you would like to learn more about other special events, join our community on our YouTube channel at the Back to Me podcast, or simply text Back to Me to 833-206-4646. 4565. Until next time, be well.